Hey guys, this is DC Lesh, and today I'm going to be making the first video tutorial that I've made in a very long time. And I plan to have two more Twisty Puzzle tutorials coming out over the next 2 weeks. And maybe a third one, but we'll have to see about that. But this week I'm going to be teaching you guys how to solve the Skewb puzzle. The Skewb that I will be using is the QJ Skewb, and it has the American color scheme in which when you hold it from the angle that you can only see the red, white, and blue colors, those colors will be presented in a clockwise fashion. And then opposite blue is green, opposite yellow is white, and then opposite red is orange. So if yours does not have that color scheme, then make sure you do know what color scheme it does have, but you're just going to have to try to play along. But it shouldn't be too hard. So the method that I'm going to be teaching is the one algorithm method. I learned this method from MonkeyDude1313, and it's pretty simple. It's only 3 steps, and like I said, only one algorithm and only 2 bits of notation, so it should be fairly easy to learn. So anyways, let's get to it. Now before we begin, I of course have to go over the component pieces of the Skewb, as well as the notation that we will be using during this method. The Skewb has 2 different types of pieces. There are 6 center pieces, these huge square pieces in the middle, and they can occupy any of these 6 centerpiece areas, whereas on a regular Rubik's Cube they're locked in place. These can move around. The Skewb also has 8 corner pieces and can occupy any of the 8 corner piece areas. Unlike the regular Rubik's Cube, where everything rotates around the centerpiece, the center is the axis on the Rubik's Cube. On the Skewb, the corners are the axis. So, in a normal turn, the pieces that you're going to be moving are the 3 centerpieces that are attached to this corner, and the other 3 corner pieces that are adjacent to the corner that you're turning them around. And this is what a full move on the Skewb looks like. And it takes 3 full moves to get back to where you started. So unlike on the Rubik's Cube where you have R2, there is no R2, because that would be the exact same as just doing R prime. So now let's go over the notation. Now there's only 2 bits of notation that you need to know, and it goes basically like this. This would be R. This would be R prime. This would be L. And this would be L prime. So that's all the notation that you really need to know in order to use this method. So now, since that's basically all you need to know, let's go ahead and scramble up the Skewb. There we go. Now the first part of solving the Skewb is pick a side, any side. I'm going to choose the white side because that's what I usually like to do. So the first step involves putting all 4 white corners around the white center so that you have one side, and also you have what are called headlights on all the 4 adjacent sides. So orange, orange, green, green, red, red, blue, blue. So what we're going to do is first put the white center on the bottom. Now look at the top and try to find any corner that has white on it. Here's one. It is the white, red, and green corner. Now, unlike the regular Rubik's Cube, where when you do a single turn it would bring this corner up here to down here, it would instead bring a corner right here down here. Now in order to make sure that this corner matches up with the white side correctly, you have to make sure that the white is facing either this way or this way. If it's facing this way, you turn it down like this to make it pair up with the white. And of course, if it's facing this way, you turn it the other way. Now that you have one corner paired, you have to try to find another one that has one of these 2 colors, either red or green. So we're going to look for one. There's one. Okay, so this one has white, red, and blue, which means that this one has to go right here, right next to the white, green, and red in order to pair them up. So you have to have it right here, because remember, it's going to go down here. And then you just put it in a place and pair it up, just like that. Now sometimes you'll run into this situation right here. I'm going to try to find the other white, blue corner. It's right here, and this is where it has to go. But you can see the white is not facing off to the side, so when you bring it down, it's not lined up properly. This is actually very, very easy to fix. All you have to do is turn this and then bring it down, like that. Now, if in order to rotate this, you end up having to push one of the already solved corners out of the way, go ahead and do it anyways. Bring it down, and then just make sure you push that corner that you pushed out of the way back. Now you also may run into this situation, where the white is actually facing upwards. Now you don't want that, you have to make sure that it's facing either this way or this way. So what you do, this is where it has to go, you rotate it like this. So now it's not facing up anymore. So here's the corner, here's where it has to go. Now remember, in order to put it where it has to go, it has to be facing either this way or this way. So rotate it, bring it down, and make sure that that corner that you pushed out of the way, you push it back. And that's all you need to know in order to do the first step. The next step would be to solve the rest of these center pieces so that they're all in their correct place. Now this is where we use our one and only algorithm. The algorithm is R prime, L, R, L prime. Now what this algorithm does is it switches the centers that are on the top and on the front, as well as the centers on the left and on the right. So what we're going to do is look at the color of the center that's on the top. It is blue. So what you're going to do is put the blue side in front of you and this on the top. Now you're going to do the algorithm. And there you have it. The blue is in its right spot. But yellow is not on top yet. So what we're going to do, since this is green, put the green in front, which is right here. Do the algorithm. It's still not there yet. This is orange, so put the orange in front. And we're still not there yet. This is red. Put the red in front. And eventually you're going to get to the point where the yellow's on top and they're all solved. Sometimes you're going to come by this case where the yellow is on the top, but the other centers still aren't solved yet. What you do in this case is just hold it from any position, do the algorithm, R prime, L, R, L prime, and now you've put a random center at the top. So this is blue, and put the blue in front. The algorithm is green, here's green, red, orange, and there we go. So that's all you need to know in order to do the second step. The final step involves orienting the yellow corners so that they will all be facing up, which will thus solve the cube. Now, we use the exact same algorithm as we did for the last step, but here we just use it a different number of times. Now there are two different cases that you can get in this step. You will have this case where none of the corners are oriented. So what you do is you hold it so that these two yellow headlights are facing this way. So these two yellow pieces go this way. And you do the algorithm twice. And that will flip them up and solve the cube. The second case that you could possibly get is when two corners are flipped up and they are opposite from each other, and then the other two corners are not. Now what you do, in this case, is you hold it like this, so that you have a corner that is not oriented correctly in this position, and it has to be the corner where the yellow is facing towards the right. And you do the algorithm twice. After you do that, you're going to get the first case. So you just perform the first case like so. And there you go. And that is all you really need to know in order to successfully solve the Skewb. Fantastic. Well, hopefully with my help you guys have solved this Skewb puzzle. Thank you guys ever so much for watching, and if you would, click the thumbs up button if you like this video, and also subscribe if you want to see more from me. And like I said, I probably will be coming out with some other tutorials within the next 2 weeks, and possibly a third one. So thank you guys ever so much for watching, and also go comment on my Q&A video because I still need more questions. I want to have at least 25, and then I will make the video. So go comment your butts off, and this is DC Lesh saying goodbye. I couldn't think of an outro, so I'm just gonna go away now.